It's Freddie Coleman time on this Friday morning edition of Big Board Sports from ESPN. Of course, Freddie and Fitz was listening to that duo last night on the way home from work at 12:15, 12:20 in the a.m. Always a good listen, 9 to 1 right here, Monday through Friday on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio, and with us every Friday morning during the NFL season. And we've hit the home stretch at 10:30-ish. Good morning, Freddie. How are you?
I'm good, Roger. Thank you for the kind words and the listen, my friend, because if I'm getting you home safely, then Ian and I are doing our job.
You are, man. You are. You guys are a phenomenal listen. Love it. Love the new time slot. I'm sure you do as well. And keep up the great work. I got to ask you, though, right away about the Giants. I heard you brought up, you think you got into the Landon Collins situation a little bit. When I was listening on the way home. But Paul Schwartz is reporting this morning, and you can get into Collins a little bit, but Paul Schwartz reporting, we've had a lot of reports. Pat Leonard has the front runner being Matt Patricia. Jordan Rodon just reported that Patricia probably has the inside track. Paul Schwartz says it's down to Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia, and Pat Shurmur, and that Steve Wilkes' name you can take out of the mix.
If you're the Giants, I think you're getting three good guys who are the finalists for your job, because I know Josh McDaniels is ready to get a second opportunity. I think he's learned a lot from what happened the first time when things did not go well for the Denver Broncos. Matt Patricia is highly regarded as a defensive coordinator and also as a good people person. Although I love the beard and the baseball cap, I hope if he gets the Giants job, that's the look that he has at the press conference, the beard and the baseball cap, if that happens. And Pat Shurmur, what he's been able to do with the Minnesota Vikings offense, and also Case Keenum, where he's turned him into a top-flight quarterback this season with that offense. So the three people that are in mind, and I believe Dave Gettleman is going to make the right choice. I think it's going to be a good first step for the Giants trying to get back to respectability, whoever they hire as a new head coach out of those three.
We'll see. It may be a while because all three of those guys are obviously still have teams and in the postseason. They got to wait until this whole thing ends. But, yeah, I think three pretty good names, and hopefully the G-men will get it right. On the field this weekend, Freddie, what game are you most looking forward to?
Boy, that's a really good question, because the two that I have on my radar both are happening on the same day, and that's Pittsburgh versus Jacksonville, the early game on Sunday, and then the Saints and Vikings, the late game on Sunday. I'm going to circle the Pittsburgh Steelers and Jacksonville Jaguars. So many subplots going into this game. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who never met a microphone they didn't want to talk into and let people know how good they are. Pittsburgh trying to rebound from what happened the first time these two met, when Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 interceptions, and 2 of those were returned for touchdowns. What kind of receiver, what kind of player are we going to see on the field? And Antonio Brown coming back from that injury where he tore, it wasn't a calf strain, he tore something in his calf. And now coming back from that against a team that is but they are the best pass defense. And they have the best pair of corners in the National Football League in the Jacksonville Jaguars. And also playing at Heinz Field on a Sunday afternoon where it's going to be bitter cold and the fans are going to be ready to hear Renegade by Styx when their defense needs to get a stop. That's the game that I've circled, because Jacksonville believes that they're good, and Pittsburgh believes the first time they met that was an aberration, how they played and how they lost to Jacksonville.
Freddie, we might as well stick with the same day here, because I know you like both games on Sunday. I know how much you like the Saints. I like them too, but they haven't won a road game since Week 9 at Buffalo, and I'm not trying to paint New Orleans as that team of the past that can't win away from the Superdome, but is Minnesota too good defensively? Is that too tough an environment for New Orleans to go in and win this weekend, even with a guy like Case Keenum at quarterback for the other side?
I don't think it would matter what team goes into Minnesota. That's going to be a tough environment for anybody. I don't care if you're Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Joe Namath, Sonny Jurgensen. It doesn't matter. Any great quarterback is going to have a difficult time against that defense, because for my money, Harrison Smith is one of the best safeties, if not the best safety in the National Football League, and Everson Griffin and Linval Joseph in the middle of that defense can get pressure and stop the running game and get after the quarterback. They got some dudes on that defense that'll make you weep on the sidelines in your helmet if you're not careful, if you're the Saints offense. The one thing I will say about the Saints is that for the first time in a long time, even though they have not won on the road lately, they have a game that travels where they can run the ball effectively with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Drew Brees is not going to make that mistake that's going to put your team and put your defense on the short field. But going into Minnesota is going to be so difficult. I mean, a lot of people taking the Saints knowing to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, and even though they haven't said anything publicly, I get the sense that's going to fuel that football team. It would not surprise me if they come out there and they take care of their business versus the Saints at home on Sunday.
Hey, Freddie, speaking of an angry football team, it's got to be Philadelphia, right? A 3-point underdog on the home field against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I know that their starting quarterback, Carson Wentz, is out, and you got Nick Foles, the backup. But how about Philadelphia? Because a lot of people like Atlanta. A lot of people feel Atlanta's going to Philadelphia. They're going to win that game, and they're on a march to getting a rematch with the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Do you think Philadelphia is good enough with Nick Foles at quarterback to win this game?
Honestly, Roger, we'll see, because based on what I've seen so far this season, and Nick Foles, and really when you have to jump in the middle after Carson went towards ACL, he's played okay, but the problem with Nick Foles is that Carson Wentz was playing at an extremely high level, an MVP level, so a lot of people are hoping that he comes somewhere half of that what they saw from Carson Wentz. And we can't just look at Nick Foles and say, okay, that now that he's gotten a couple of weeks to prepare, we're going to see the guy we saw when he played for Philadelphia the first time that had 27 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. A, that was 4 or 5 years ago. B, it was an entirely different offense than the offense that he has now with Doug Peterson. But the Atlanta Falcons, I think they found their identity. They're going to be tough on defense and fast on defense and get after people. And now they're going to give Devontae Freeman, that running game, a chance to help out Matt Ryan where everything's not falling on his shoulders. You're right about Philadelphia being upset and playing the disrespect card. I know I would do that if I'm a Philadelphia Eagle. But right now, the Atlanta Falcons are a better football team, and they're a more confident football team. They don't have any fear going into Philadelphia and trying to win that football game on the road. And that's why I clearly understand why Vegas has them as a 3-point favorite, even though Philadelphia won 13 games in the regular season.
Saturday's a date night, right? New England's going to roll over Tennessee. Don't even need to, force your significant other to sit in front of the TV for that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Proud Mary, the new movie Taraji P. Henson with my wife Denise, because but here's the thing with Tennessee. And I know a lot of people are saying that, and for good reason. I mean, New England, in certain places, they're a 14-point favorite. Other books have them as a 13.5-point favorite. But Tennessee is not just going to go away. And, yeah, they're playing the Patriots, and the Patriots have that home field advantage, and they have that mission that they want to show everybody that they can rally around a report from ESPN about friction between Belichick and Tom Brady. You know they have that as a rallying point. But Tennessee is going to be very tough on them on defense. And if New England, whatever pressure they're going to feel, it's going to be a lot more from the inside than it is from the outside. But if they're not able to have their wide receivers make plays, then Tennessee is going to squeeze on Rob Gronkowski and say, okay, we're going to double him, and you guys are going to have to throw the football to somebody else, and we'll see if you can do that. If they're not able to get the wide receivers going early, this is going to be a bit tougher game than anybody could have expected from the Tennessee Titans. I worry about Marcus Mariota playing in cold weather and making plays, so we'll see how that's going to happen. I don't worry about that from Tom Brady. But it'll be a little bit of a struggle early on, but I'm with you. I fully expected the Patriots to pull away and win this game by double digits, which means that date night's going to start early for Freddie, Coleman, and practically every other man in the country.
Taraji Henson looks mean in that movie, Freddie.
Yeah, Tennessee needs that defense to be mean like her. I mean, they need a Proud Mary. Big wheel keep on turning for that defense so New England doesn't roll them and roll them out of the playoffs.
Hey, Freddie, one more for me. Take the point spreads out. If I were to say to you, just give me the 4 winning teams, the 4 winners that are coming out of the divisional playoff weekend, who would they be?
In the AFC, I got the Patriots and the Steelers. In the NFC, I have the Vikings and the Falcons. I think the Vikings defense will show up. I think the Falcons offense will put the Philadelphia Eagles in the bind. I think the Steelers with their offense and also what happened the first time, that'll be more than enough. And the Patriots are the Patriots. Tennessee is too young and too green to go on the road and beat that football team.
All right, Freddie, have fun this weekend. Enjoy date night, and we will talk to you this time next week, and I'm sure I'll be listening to you throughout the course of the week on the way home from the Mighty 1-3.
I always appreciate you, my friend. I'll tell Taraji you guys said hi, okay?
Yeah, please.
Thanks, Freddie.
Thank you, Freddie. Good job there.